North Dakota Congressman Kelly Armstrong met with the board to discuss challenges facing the electrical grid, the growing energy demand from incoming data centers, and legislative efforts to expand nuclear energy.
We actually passed in bipartisan, signed into law, came out of the Energy and Commerce Committee, overhaul in the nuclear regulatory environment. And I think anybody who cares about carbon has to have natural gas and small-scale nuclear in the portfolio. The problem is small-scale nuclear is very different than the permitting process that existed when most of the nuclear plants in the United States were built. Nuclear elicits an emotional reaction from people in a very different way than other energy sources. Education is key. Education is key because I think people are starting to recognize it. And serious people who understand about mitigating carbon, wanting to mitigate carbon in the environment, know that this has to be a part of the conversation. We could shut down every coal plant in the United States tomorrow, and 10 years from now the world's going to build more coal. So if you really care about these things and you're smart about these things, then you have to start having conversations about what those energy sources look like.
Special guest speaker Dr. Stephen Aumeier, nuclear engineer and senior advisor for strategic programs at Idaho National Laboratory, shared a presentation on the perspectives on deployment of advanced nuclear energy. Dr. Aumeier touched on several topics, including the fundamentals of nuclear energy and the drivers, risks, and opportunities available in the energy sector. Discussions were had on existing large-scale reactors, small modular reactors, and microreactors. Dr. Aumeier shares more on the future of nuclear energy and the challenges it faces throughout the United States.
It's really about finding the reactors that are appropriately sized for the application. And that actually then reduces risk of deployment, reduces costs. And that's something that the industry, with the help of labs do quite a lot of enabling technology. The nuclear industry and nuclear startup companies, legacy companies, have been doing a really nice job of designing what people like to call appropriately sized reactors, right? So different sizes, small reactors for industrial process heat applications, small reactors for defense power applications, medium-sized reactors for different grid applications, and then of course there's the existing large reactors. So getting the appropriately sized reactors that are easy to manufacture, that are inherently safe, or safe because of the physics, not because of the engineering, is something that's really moving quickly. Okay. We're living through a new economic frontier. So world 8 billion people, you need reliable energy in various forms. You need wind, you need solar, you need gas, you need all of this stuff, but most certainly you need a lot more nuclear in that mix. And I think that's what you're going to see, because we are facing this new frontier of economic competition, and nuclear is going to be a key that helps the U.S. unlock that door.
Gavin McCullum, Senior Vice President and Chief Operating Officer, shares a bit about some hurdles Basin Electric faces when it comes to adding nuclear to its energy portfolio.
The biggest hurdle is cost. Nobody really knows how much it's going to cost. We've seen some data on the recent big nuclear plants that's mind-boggling. We've seen some reports on small modular and others that are still very, very high, much higher than we spend right now on anything. So that's one big hurdle. The other hurdle is just primary acceptance from the communities. We're monitoring that, see if there's a change of heart. We are learning a lot. We know a lot more now than we did 5 years ago. And so we'll be ready when the time comes to pull the trigger on something like this.